First, let's take a walk through the Vine Walk, which is number 3 on the formal garden area map. You probably noticed it on your left-hand side just before reaching the parking lot. Ahead of the Vine Walk is the House of Golden Buddhas, number 2 on the formal garden area map. Amazingly, these 2 slim, delicate, polychromed figures of Buddha were fashioned from single logs of teak wood. Students from the Royal School in Bangkok, Thailand, made them from prototypes Allerton selected in nearby Buddhist temples. They waited for 2 years for the wood to season properly before embarking on the project. Standing solemnly under multi-tiered parasols of brass like those traditionally part of a Thai crown prince's regalia, the figures are attired in customary monastic garb, a simple, clinging, draped cloth reaching almost to the ankles. Thai religious iconography attaches exceptional importance to stance and gesture. The Buddha with arms bent at the elbows and both palms turned out toward the spectator signifies calming the waters, and is meant to dispel fear and give protection. Climbing up the stairs in the House of Golden Buddhas, there is an overlook of the nearby area. To the south is our next stop, the Garden of Foo Dogs, number 3 on the map. Possibly most appealing of all art objects in Allernton Park are the 22 Lulu blue ceramic Foo Dogs. Allerton purchased them in pairs from European and American art dealers in 1932 and placed them in a specially designed garden. Considering their similarity in size, overall look, and hollow construction, they may well have been created by Chinese craftsmen for the export trade in the same factory. They are very like each other, differentiated only slightly by spots or blazes on their foreheads, by their white or blue beards, by nuances in modeling, and in the treatment of tails and ears. Mythological lion dogs such as these are ubiquitous in Asian art, found in cemeteries, temples, shops, and domiciles, and utilized traditionally as Buddhist guardian effigies to ward off demon spirits. Their image combines features of Pekingese pug dogs and long-haired lion dogs. Often female dogs are shown with playful cubs, and male dogs with brocaded balls representing sun spheres. Heading back to visit other places in the formal garden area, you will come across 2 granite dogs on high pedestals at the end of the Vine Walk. They are from Korea. The Sphinxes were created in 1900 by John Voorhees. They are located right in front of Robert Allerton's mansion. The Sphinxes are situated to face directly at the house and are meant to seem that they are looking into the mansion. The Sphinxes have bodies of lions with human heads and breasts. They have sashes situated over their backs that are decorated with Greek designs. These statues are the Sea Maidens, which were created in 1930. The bronze Sea Maidens are located in the entrance to the Brick Garden. They were created by Richard Cole. Robert Allerton wanted to add the Sea Maiden statues for his estate after seeing a similar statue that Cole designed in Hamburg. Allerton asked that a bowl of plenty be added to keep the Midwestern prairie feel. The Sea Maiden statues wear a transparent dress and are draped with seaweed garlands. This sculpture depicts a rather dreamy sunbather, leaning back on a coarse, pea gravel embedded rock, letting a scarf arc around her slim nude body and through her legs. The smooth white silica sand surface of the figure is alive with brightness when sunshine plays on it. Girl with a Scarf was the last piece Robert Allerton acquired for his estate. He bought it from Lily Orr at the Chicago Art Institute's annual exhibition of American painting and sculpture in 1941. Instead of modeling the work first in plaster or clay, as was customary, Orr used an uncommon and difficult technique, first creating the framework for the hollow figure with iron bars and wire mesh, and then roughly troweling it over a relatively dry mixture composed of cement, fine and coarse crushed rock, and water. Care had to be taken to keep the framework from breaking through the surface, or even from being close to the surface, as the iron oxide tends to leach through and stain the sculpture's original clean, clear appearance. A bronze version of Adam was originally made by Rodin for a museum in Paris. It is inspired by Dante's Inferno and also draws inspiration from Michelangelo's style. The model for Adam was a famous Parisian weightlifter named Caillou, who could lift over 200 pounds. Allerton purchased this original version of Adam from the Rodin estate. He had a stone copy made for his gardens and donated the original to the Chicago Art Institute. But the Adam you see at Allernton Park is not the stone copy originally commissioned by Allerton. In 1975, a park visitor attempted to climb to the top of the Adam display and knocked it over, damaging the statue beyond repair. The version you see now was made in 1977 by a stonemason from Indiana and has a series of flaws. In particular, the stone is left uncut between the legs and fingers, thought to contribute more durability to the statue. Rodin would likely not think very much of the current Adam at Allernton Park. The Chinese musicians are located along the path to the sunken garden. They are meant to provide a musical interlude along this path. While they are generally referred to as the Chinese musicians, it is important to note that they have distinctly Western features. 10 statues were originally purchased by Allerton, and he had a gravestone carver from Monticello make 2 more. Due to erosion, accident, and vandalism, none of these original 12 remain. The replacements do not correctly reproduce the details of the originals, particularly the different instruments each is supposed to hold. The Sun Singer was created by Carl Miles, as well as 2 other statues located in National Memorial Park, south of Falls Church, Virginia, in the Washington, D.C. area, and the other is in Stockholm. Miles chose Apollo, the Greek god of the sun, music, poetry, and civilization, depicting him as a nude youth greeting the radiant morning sky with song and extended arms. Allerton first viewed the Sun Singer overlooking the Stockholm harbor in 1929, and personally sought out Miles in his suburban studio to commission a reduced-scale version for himself. John Allerton deserves credit for the outdoor arrangement. And, despite motorcyclists, sharpshooters, and the graffiti-obsessed, the Sun Singer does still remain in all its vivid beauty, and continues to be immensely popular. The Death of the Last Centaur. This sculpture was created by Mr. Bourdelle, and is considered the greatest sculpture of his generation, and the summit of his achievements. Allerton bought this sculpture directly from Bourdelle in his Paris studio shortly before the artist's death in 1929. In block letters on the front of the statue's base is the inscription, La mort du dernier centaure, and at the lower right side, Émile Antoine Bourdelle, 1914. Greek mythology furnished the subject matter, but its more profound and symbolic meaning is the end of paganism. The artist said that the centaur is dying because people no longer believe in him. This statement is emphasized by John Allerton's stark, extraordinarily fine landscape setting.